So what kind of projects KPMG has taken where you have seen there is no need of AI and you customer is asking for that particular thing that I need AI in this, and some key projects where you have actually implemented AI plus language component and it's becoming a key project for KPMG, please.
Thank you, Ajay. Very, very interesting question. We used to normally get this question around blockchain, that is it something which is being, forced rather than actually a requirement of the government. Again, in the sense of, if you look at AI, so I'm just looking at what are the things that AI is trying to solve. One is and you are involved with Bhashini and we are involved with Bhashini. One very important component had been the language, because we are a massively multilingual country. 22 official languages is something which is really massive. Now, if the people have to interact with each other, and the use cases we have not only found in government, and there are quite a few, but then the use cases are with the private sector. So if you look at it, Uber has got a solution, or wanting to have a solution where if a passenger from other state comes to a different state, he needs to interact with the driver. How would he interact with the driver? Now, that's where the language comes into picture. Also, what we've seen, if you look at the government, the way even the e-governance has moved on. We had got earlier a lot of paper-based, models where people used to receive paper, validate that. Now that changed with the digitization happening. A lot of things went online, Then the mobile part of it came. That was a big, big thing. I think if you ask me, one really massive change in the way the people operate, the way the people interact with the government had been mobile. Now with mobile, there's a lot of new powerful tools which people got. Now they have got microphones. Now they have got cameras. And all of this can then be leveraged to provide solutions to the people. And we've created a lot of apps around that. Now the third way which is coming, where we're saying, okay, fine, there still is a digital divide. People need to have a smartphone. People need to be able to type on the small screen that a smartphone has, even though the screen size has kept on increasing, but it has a limitation. The third one, which is going to really change the way the services gets consumed, is the voice. So if I have to go and apply for something, can I simply speak about it rather than go and type? Can I, if I have to seek some information, can I simply speak about that? Also, can we move away, even think of it, can we simply move away from even a smartphone? Because right now there's a limitation that you need to have a great internet, have a smartphone through which you can, go and apply for things. Now, the language solutions are also available over IVRS. You simply can make a phone call, through your feature phone and start getting those services. And we have seen a great example of, NPCI itself, where this entire UPI transactions can happen over a feature phone now. You don't need a smartphone anymore. You can call and tell, the solution to go and transfer the money to a specific person. And it works. And we have all seen it working. I personally have used that. So that is the way things are moving, where there's a transition from, digitization to getting to a mobile and now going to a voice. Now, but I'm coming back to the first question, where you're saying, okay, fine, is every use case, relevant for making it AI? No, very much not. Because there are many other things that you can do through a traditional system. If I have to go and fetch an information, from a vast database, as long as this is structured in nature, I can very well use a normal dashboarding tools and get this. But where AI comes into picture, where the data is unstructured, as Prasoon sir was mentioning, there's a lot of information which is there, which is written in plain text. Now, I cannot use my Power BI to fetch information from a plain text. I need to have an intelligent system which should be able to read through all the text and start making sense of it. One of the use cases which we implemented was around CCTVs itself. So we were working with government of Orissa where we are implementing it. We were able to fetch information from many years of data, and which makes sense. So if I ask you, tell me what are the cases of chain snatching where a red Pulsar bike was involved, it will fetch that information from that unstructured text and tell you these are the 5 cases where this particular thing. Now, this was simply impossible, for people to do that if we do not have these kind of technology in place, because you simply cannot go and read through that textual data. So that's the power that we have seen, which AI has been able to. But again, one thing, as I mentioned, AI would be as successful as you want it to be. Many people say, okay, fine, this is, this does not work. But think of it, when you speak with Amazon or your Alexa, you go and modulate your voice, because you really want this to respond. So you speak more clearly, you ensure that, questions are right, and you get amazed by the response you get. Similarly, for any use case to be successfully implemented, very first thing would be that you should believe in it. And then there are challenges which will come one by one and which will keep on getting solved. As Sir mentioned, there has to be a glossary that needs to get created. If I go ahead and implement a use case for a specific domain, if I have to go and translate a judgment, when I say leave petition, that leave is not a leave application. That leave petition is for you are filing some case. So for that, a glossary needs to be built in, and somebody need to put an effort to create those glossaries for this AI use case to become really successful. So I think it's on us also, both from the ones who are creating it, but also from the user side, who are going to adopt it to ensure that the feedback that needs to be received from them is actually in place.